Alright, what's up guys? It's good to be back. I am here with another episode of Commentate My Race. The last one that you guys probably saw was Daytona. That's the last one that I posted. That was the first one that I posted. You can find the link in the upper right corner of the video. I'm not sure if this is like the next race after that. I think I had to take a break because of my son. He was born, so finding time to put together these videos, put together my vlogs has been a little more difficult. But I am trying to catch up on a little bit. Now, this race was held back in June 25th, right? And I was racing with FMRRA. This is my first time racing FMRRA. They do things a little differently, and I'll point them out a little later on. But overall, I had a good time with them. They ran it pretty well. And they have some pretty interesting ideas or things that they do differently from others. If you want more details on that, go check out my blog. Another link up in the upper right hand corner. Go click on that. So at the moment I'm about to head out. I am about to head out for the Superbike Grande Corsa. The Grande Corsa series of races with FMRRA are like the GTU with CCS. It's a longer race than I guess it's not considered a sprint. Now with CCS is either a 25-minute race or a 9-lap race, depending on what region you're in. With FMRRA, the Grande Corsas are 12-lap races, and 12 laps that's a lot. Anyway, as you can see, the telemetry just popped up. If I explained a little bit before in my last Commentating My Race, but if you're new here, first of all, please consider subscribing. Right now, with the telemetry on the screen, on the upper left-hand corner, we have the track map, and the red dot is where I am. That's the GPS location. To the upper right, you have the lap time of the current lap in yellow. You have my best lap overall, or the best lap of the race, up to that point in green. And then I will have the laps listed right below that in the little black square. Now, this time is a little different. I have a rear view. Last time I didn't have the rear view because my GoPro kind of quit on me back in Daytona, but this time I have the full rear view that you can see not only what's in front of me, but kind of glance at what's behind me. Right in the middle at the bottom, we have my speed, and this is probably the true speed. This is the true speed, actually. This is the GPS speed, not what's shown on my tack. You can't see my tack anyway, so it's no big deal. The top speed is going to be like the top speed overall that I've achieved during this race up to that point. And then right below that, where it says base speed right now, it's going to say peak speed. There you go. And the base speed, peak speed, the peak speed is basically the fastest I got to before I started decelerating, before I stopped accelerating and started decelerating. And then base speed is the other way around, the point where I stopped decelerating and started accelerating. So I am going out for my outlap right now. If you've never ridden Roebling before, it is an awesome track. Very fast and flowing. So there's not a lot of hard braking corners. In fact, there aren't any hard braking corners. It just goes and just flows. You just keep up a lot of speed. You have to slow down for turns, obviously, but these turns are essentially feeling like long sweeping turns. So just getting around the track over to the start. Right now we're in turn 5 and 6. This is 6 right here. Actually, as far as like the designation of the track, the corner numbers, it varies, I guess, between organizations or who you talk to. This would be 7 for some. This would be 6. That carousel that we just were on would be 6 for other organizations. And then the last corner that we're approaching now, where the pit in is also located. Some people break that up into 8 and 9, and some people count that as one corner. So either way, I think Roebling is about 2 miles long. And some of the lap times, well, you see the lap times later, but they're pretty quick, just over a minute. Alright, so gridding up, I am headed to the front row. I am second on the grid. I lost out to pole by 0.07 of a second, so 700ths of a second. It was really close. Not my fastest lap of the weekend, the qualifying. I actually achieved my fastest laps during the races. Alright, so we're getting ready now. Up to if you look kind of like to the upper left where that white building is. Oh, you see the red lights there? Oh, there we go. We're off the starts. So the red lights, that's something. Oh, okay. Hold on. Alright, so we're off. I did not get the whole shot. Thomas Hall, who's in front of me right now, he was able to jump out in front of me, but I am second going into this corner. And we're finishing turn 1 right now. Then he's leaving me a little bit. I'm a little timid on my first laps. Generally, on the first lap, you know, trying to get my bearings about myself, I guess. You know, the first lap, rhythm is not quite there for me. But I'm trying my best right now to keep up with them, not let them get away, while I try to find my pace. This is turn 4 right here, one of the slower turns on the track. Some people have to brake a little bit there. I have to touch the brakes a little bit there. Here's 5. And we're going to 6 right now. Some people can consider that one turn, you know, because you kind of just stay leaned over. And then we call this kind of like the mini carousel or something like that. It's just a long sweeping right-hander, turn 7. Hard on gas coming out of that turn for a little bit straight, and then tipping in here. Now this part right here is kind of scary because Roebling is a really bumpy track, especially in those places, and especially in this turn right here. So, oh man, he's leaving me a little bit. He's got a pretty strong bike. That Triumph 675 is no slouch, and he's got it tuned pretty well. But I got a pretty good or well-tuned R6. Going into turn 1, kind of trailing the brakes a bit as I'm tipping in. It's a very fast turn, as you can see. 77 miles an hour at the slowest, or 70-ish miles at the slowest. Hard on the gas coming out of turn 2. And for turn 3, no brakes, just roll off just slightly and then just tip it in and then get back on the gas. That turn is really quick, and that turn you got to be careful because you go on the outside, it gets really bumpy and it's really sketchy if you don't hug that inside line. So continuing on, still trying to keep up with Thomas, still I think doing a pretty decent job. And if you've been watching my rear view, you see that we've pretty much left the rest of the pack. So it's pretty much, this whole race is pretty much a battle between me and the guy in front of me that you see right now. We're on the gas going right to the bumpy 8 and 9. Trying to get a good drive, trying to make up a little bit of space. He seems like he's kind of walking away a little bit. He might have put a little bit of a gap on me. Well, he used quite a gap on me. But because of the accordion effect, it's a little more pronounced. All right, back, going in there into turn 1, making up a little space. See if I can continue making up that gap to Thomas. Alright, and as far as speeds go, I mean, like my base speed is pretty much exactly the same as the last lap. And as far as lap times go, so far, already ran a 1:16. My best here, it was a 1:16 flat. So I am a little bit off pace. I've been off pace all season, but you know that's. I guess I've had a lot of things to think about on my plate. Anyway, I am making a little bit of a what do you call it? I am gaining on him a little bit. I'm gaining on Thomas a little bit. I'm keeping up with him a bit. Both me and Thomas seem to have this thing. We are both foxes. We do better when someone's in front of us. We run our fastest laps trying to chase someone down. All right. Took a little different line there, a little wider line, and that actually gives me a better drive. Now I'm gonna try to stay as straight behind them as possible to get that slipstream. And you should see that slipstream is no joke. Now I wasn't close enough that time to make that pass, but I am really close, and I'm gonna try to maintain this distance from him, or do a little better. He's got a little bit on me there. I think he kind of went a little too hard and ended up going wide, but he was able to square off turn number 2 and turn 3. There you go. All right, try to get back on the gas. And did not. But anyway, going to turn 4, holding that gap, holding that distance to him. Because what I want to do is I want to be really close to him in the last couple of corners. That way, I could work on the drive. I could get my drive, and if I get a better drive out of him, out of that corner, or get at least the same amount of drive out of that corner, then I should be able to slipstream past him. A little better on the gas than me there, at least on that lap. And going for the last couple corners. I took a really really steep or really shallow line there. Didn't do me any favors. This is not going to be the passing lap. But I am catching him on the slipstream again. And here we go in turn 1. So knowing that I had nothing for him that lap, or going to turn 1 that time, you know, just try to hold it a little safer. All right, trying to made it some time there, but as you see, because I took a tighter line, I wasn't able to drive as hard through turn 2, and he was able to kind of leave me a bit. So I might have ran up on him going to turn 2, but that doesn't really matter if I can't get past him on that exit. Alright, 116.4 is my best so far. The person in front of us is lap traffic. Coming up to him now. We're going to try to get around him. Thomas gets around him on the outside right away. I kind of wait a little bit, and then I go. That kind of hurt me a little bit. Thomas was able to get a little further away from me because I kind of held back, like passing the guy. And that's okay. I mean, you know, like, we're here. This is a hobby. We're not getting paid for this, so it's not nearly as important. It's not really worth kind of like stuffing somebody up on the inside or outside, you know, and spooking them and potentially causing a crash. Able to make a little bit of time on Thomas going to turn 1. I seem to be doing pretty good going to turn 1, at least by my standards. Whoa, a little bit. I lost the rear just a hair, a little bit there. Kind of gave it a little too much gas. My tire pressures might be a little off. I was told to by Stick Boy, who was the Michelin tire vendor, to kind of run lower pressures than I'm used to here. And I was going to make that change, but I forgot. I had a little other stuff that, you know, kind of took my attention and didn't get around to lower my tire pressures. So the grip was a little less than I expected. And also, I've already ran a 12. This is the second race of the day. The other race that I already raced was another Grand Corsa, so it's another 12 laps. My body's tired, and also the tires are not as new and not, well, they're just not as new as they were. They're still good, they're just not as new. Alright, trying to take a little water line, getting back on the gas hard. Go, go, go. Let's see if we could make up some space. Make some time on Thomas. Not so much there, you know, at least on slipstream. I was too far away for the slipstream to be effective, but I am making a little bit of time on him in turn 1. And again with the inside line, which doesn't do me any favors. I guess that's just the line that I'm used to. He didn't get nearly as good of a drive getting out of turn 2 as he did in the other laps. So that's why I'm still with him right at the moment. Turn 4. Not too bad. Hard on the gas. You got to be like full throttle, and then as you're tipping in, that's when you start letting off the throttle. Nice maintenance throttle through here, and then on the exit start going wide, going to the outside, because you could kind of make up a little bit of I won't say make up. You could kind of go out all the way to the exit, and even though it'll kind of mess up your line, so to speak, if you were to draw the ideal line, which there's no such thing, but if you were to draw the ideal line, that would be like turn 6 is such a long turn that you could kind of correct for that. No, I am right there. Okay, time to get by him. There we go. Got a better drive. Got slipstream helped a little bit, so I am far enough ahead of him right now that he can't actually attack right away or attack back right away. So good. I'm gonna see if I can try to break away. But as I said, we are both foxes. We do better chasing somebody. So we'll see how my lap time is this lap. My best so far was a 16.450. As you can see, there's been a bunch of 17s. I guess we weren't going nearly as fast as we could have. We're still going. He is doing a decent job keeping up. And he is actually making up a lot of time, a lot of space on me there. So that goes to say my corner speed in general isn't the greatest. So I am relying a little bit on the power of my bike and my braking ability. And that kind of goes because the reason for that is because, you know, in Florida, we pretty much race only one track at the moment with CCS, and that's Homestead. And Homestead's a hard-braking track, so people from Florida are generally pretty good on the brakes, because we have to practice a lot. Oh, got a great drive. I am leaving him at the moment. 16.830, not too bad. So, a little improvement over the last few laps. He's still kind of lingering there, not too far off. The wide angle of the GoPros that are on the bike, and I do set them to wide or super view or something like that, they will kind of give you a false sense of distance. He is a little closer than he appears in the rear view because of the wide angle. He makes up some time there. The corner speed, that is where I am lacking, and especially lacking if I'm in front because I don't have somebody to kind of pace me. And that Triumph can handle. I won't lie. The Triumph is a tried and true. Ooh, he got pretty close. I didn't do so well in that turn 6 or turn 7. The Triumph is an excellent bike. It is super. First of all, instead of 4 cylinders, it's 3 cylinders, so the engine is narrower. And then everything on that bike they designed, it handles so well. It's so flickable, but it makes just as much power. I think top end wise, generally the 4-cylinder inline 4 cylinders do a little better. Oh, he got a good run out of that. He is getting up there. Let's see if he tries to make that pass. Nope, I was a little better on the brakes that time. But if anything, he actually took that as a practice run. He is going to set up later on, not to spoil anything, but he is actually gauging my capabilities, how I brake into that corner, and just kind of seeing kind of just looking and observing my riding style. That way he could set up and see where I'm weaker, that he could possibly get by me. Ooh, running up right there. I gotta work on that corner speed. Yeah, the lap time showed that I didn't do nearly as well that time as the lap previous. And he is right there. This section, he's noticeably stronger, especially when he's behind me. That drive, he is right there. He got a better drive. Now he backs off a little bit because passing in this area is sketchy. First of all, the bike is already like bouncing all around from all the bumps on the track, so you kind of want to leave it. There's been times when there's been like someone that's noticeably slower, and if you're not careful, it's easy to run. Oh, there he goes. He broke super late that time. I was actually quite surprised when he passed me. So I can't snap back at him right away, and that's not really my style, though I probably should learn that. I am going to pace him. I'm just going to stay behind him. See, I make up a little bit of time there. Staying with him here. And this is kind of funny. If you were to, if you remember the last couple laps, and you could probably rewind this if you want to watch back at that. Around this section, he was running up on me all over the place, And here, I'm not so much running up on him, but I am staying with him. So, when there's someone in front of me, it helps me to kind of gauge how fast I could take those corners. Not all bikes are the same, so some bikes could take corners faster than my bike. But overall, in general, at least at our level, anything he could do, I should be able to do as well. Ooh, he goes a little bit wide there, almost on the rumble strips. I am going to slipstream, see if I get by him. Yes, I do get by him. Very nice. That slipstream is a wondrous thing. It is powerful. All right, so we're on lap 12 right now. This is the last lap of the race, so that was the race-winning overtake. Very nice. He might have started backing off a little bit. Maybe he was tired a little bit. Maybe the tires, his tires weren't holding up as well at this point. I know mine weren't. I can kind of feel it. And I won't say that lap times are gauged, are indicative of the lack of grip or the drop in grip, because there's people that are much faster on bikes that still are able to turn much better lap times. But much better, I mean, by at least a couple seconds. Oh, he's right there. I think he's trying to set up, see if he could slipstream past me by start finish. So he's trying to stay with me. He took a shallower line going into that corner. That might hurt him, and I think it did. And I'm able to pull away and to the finish. There we go. That was an amazing win for me. I mean, you know, I don't know how exciting it was to watch because he led the race most of the race, and I only led a couple laps. But I mean, just the heat of the moment, just sitting there behind him, you're like, I know I can keep up with him. I know I could catch him. And oh, that last lap was my best lap, 16.370. So yeah, like, you know, and doing a little bit of the exchange, you know, him passing me, me passing him, you know, and setting up those passes and making them successful. That, and I almost run out of track because I'm looking at him. And there's a person who crashed over there outside of turn 3. Turn 3 is a horrible place to crash. Turn 8 and 9 are horrible places to crash. Turn 4 is generally a horrible place to crash because a lot of people get taken out here. But back to what I was saying, this race was especially fun for me. I mean, it was, I gotta say, this race and the race before this one, which I'll post as for my next commentary, those were the most fun races I've had in a really long time, if not ever. Just because the competition was so close. We were having such a good time, just pacing each other, making those passes, trying to keep up, trying to catch and be like, no, I got you. But in the end, I was able to pull out a win. Very happy. This was my second win, so I won that other race. And that this weekend I did really well. Now the competition at FMRRA right now isn't top level. There's a lot of people that I race with that are much faster with CCS. CCS is a much more established organization. They've been around for a really long time. So FMRRA is getting, you know, started. There's only a couple of really fast people, and at this weekend at Roebling, attendance was a little light, but in general, like the really fast guys that we would see at at Homestead with CCS, they just weren't there this weekend, which is okay. I mean, like, I won't say that like I was gifted this. I definitely wasn't. I had to fight for it, and that made it really worth it. So I'm going in here right now. We're going to tech because Super Corsas are races that require tech after if you place, because they pay out. And even though the Super Sport, which I raced earlier, did not pay out because they didn't have enough people, this one did have enough people, and I was able, and they gave me a check. They gave me a check for, I think 125 for winning that race overall, which was really nice to have. Really nice to kind of get something back for winning a race. It gives you a little more incentive. Now I know not all race organizations can do that. It's not their policy, but either way, it was a kind of nice thing, and it was a great race with Thomas. Awesome dude. I went over to talk to him the day before after qualifying, after qualifying, and I'm talking to him right now. You can't see it because the angle's not right, but I was talking to him. We're just saying what an amazing race. He was happy with the result, even though he didn't win. He was happy with it because the racing was good racing. And that just about does it for this video. The next video I'm looking to put out, and I can't give you guys a date. I'm hoping the next couple of days after this video will be the Homestead vlog. I go to Homestead after a week after this race weekend, and a lot happened there. So be on the lookout for that. Give it a watch. I would really appreciate that. The next commentating my race is going to be another Roebling race, the other Super Grande Corsa that I raced, because it was another exciting race. I'm going to try to get back to a regular posting schedule. Originally I had like every Friday around Friday early afternoon or so. It's been difficult. Once I get caught up, I think I'm going to try to maintain that schedule, but I can't promise anything because family does come first, and spending time with my boy, you know, that's more important to me at the moment. But I still do have a lot of fun with these, and I still like putting these out, so I'm going to continue doing that. So if you made it up to this point, please drop me a like. And if you're new or if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. That really helped me out. So with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.